Now, most people who visit my gallery look around and see beautiful photos. But me, I see memories. Memories of long hikes, cold winds, fleeting light, and the quiet joy of getting a photo just right. Over the past 21 years, I've hiked nearly 15,000 miles through Rocky Mountain National Park, through snowstorms, lightning, high winds, harsh alpine terrain, and countless miles on dark trails in the middle of the night, all in search of something fleeting, a moment of perfect light, an opportunity to reveal the soul of Rocky Mountain National Park. Most people only ever see the final image, nicely framed and hanging on a wall. But what they don't see is the planning, the years of patience, the effort, the precision and skill that go into creating a piece of art meant to last a lifetime. So today, I want to take you behind the scenes and show you everything that goes into creating a single fine art photograph, from inspiration to the decisive moment, from editing to printing, mounting, and finally to displaying on the wall. Now, the best way that I can think to show you the entire process is to follow the journey of one image, from the moment the idea is born to when it finally becomes a finished piece of art. Sometimes a photo starts with a mental image, an idea that comes into my mind during the night or while I'm out doing something else. Other times, inspiration strikes while I'm out hiking through the park, looking at maps, or even exploring views on Google Earth, searching for new perspectives. Well, the image that we're following today actually started with finding a dramatic viewpoint on Google Earth. It looked incredible, but it was remote. Getting there meant a 9-mile hike with over 5,000 feet of elevation gain, nearly all of it above tree line. Then, of course, there's another 9 miles back to the trailhead. That's 18 miles in total, most of it through alpine tundra, where weather can shift in minutes and safety is always a factor. Now, because this is such an exposed location, I had to wait for the perfect alignment of conditions. No high winds, no electrical storms. I needed a sky filled with clouds, but I also needed a clear western horizon so the sun could peek through as it set. Now, that doesn't happen very often. It took several years of watching forecasts and waiting for a day when I was available, when the conditions were right, and when it was safe to go. Now, one day last October, it looked like I might get that chance. The forecast looked promising somewhat. I packed my gear and I set off. The weather was cold, snow was beginning to fall, and as I hiked through the alpine tundra trying to get there, it really looked like it wasn't going to happen. But then, shortly after I reached the summit, the clouds began to open on the western horizon, and the sun found a crack just as it was setting, putting on quite the show. All right, well, right now everything is pretty flat in terms of lighting, but once that sun pokes through, it should get pretty dramatic very quickly. Well, the light is starting to happen just as I had hoped. I actually made it just in time. Oh my goodness, in every direction. It is just lovely. Can you see the clouds over here and the rain? A little bit of light on this. And all the way around. And so I have never seen another photograph from up here, but I'm so glad I'm here now. I'm going to set this down. I'll take a few photographs and I'll show you what I've got. I hope it does it justice. It only lasted probably 2 minutes and then it was gone, and that's it, almost 6 hours of hiking to get up here today for 2 minutes of photography. And now I turn around and hike back, and we'll get back home very late tonight. Now, after a warm shower and a good night's sleep, the next part of the process begins. I import the photos into my computer. Now, What comes out of my camera doesn't look like the finished art you see on my walls, because I shoot in RAW format, not JPEGs like you might have on your camera. They're kind of like unbaked cookies, full of potential, but certainly not ready yet. These files look flat and uninspiring at first, but they give me the ability to bring the scene to life with precision and care. Now, when I edit my photographs, I'm not adding things that weren't there. I'm simply adjusting the photo to reflect what I saw and what I felt while standing there up on that mountain. It's going to look almost identical to what you'd see if you were standing there as well. It's a slow, thoughtful process, but worth every second of effort. Now, that night I captured several images that I'm really pleased with, but one photo stood out. It's a panoramic image that to me captures the feeling of being there on the mountain's edge. Now, this panoramic photo is actually a blend of 3 photos, left, center, and right, taken just seconds apart and then stitched together into one seamless photo. I wanted to create a single photograph with incredible detail from edge to edge so that it could be printed extremely large without losing clarity. Now, the final result is exactly what I saw in my mind while standing up there on the mountain. And because it reflects that scene so perfectly and creates that same feeling of awe that I had while standing there, I've chosen to print it for my gallery, which is a rare honor. Fewer than 1 out of every 1,000 photos that I make ends up on the gallery wall, but I think this one deserves it. Now, I'm going to print this image really big. I'd like to do it at 80 inches by 40 inches, and I'll have it mounted as a fine art plaque, which is the way I present most of my work in my gallery, because it has so little glare and it has this depth to it. It almost feels like you can reach into it. Now, to produce this, I work with a company in Longmont, Colorado called DuraPlaque, a company that I've worked closely with for almost 17 years now. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've done a couple of test prints to ensure that what's being printed down at DuraPlaque and what I'm seeing on my monitor are the same thing, so I'm getting the final result that I want before I send in the big one. And today, we're ready. I've been told that DuraPlaque is ready to begin the process of producing this piece. So let's drive down, watch the process of taking this photo from a file on my computer to a piece of art for my gallery. Now, the process begins with printing the file on a very large 12-color inkjet printer. Having this many colors allows for incredibly precise color reproduction. We're printing on a fine art satin paper and using archival inks. If this piece is displayed properly, it should last for generations. After the print is dried, it is then transferred to one of DuraPlaque's clean rooms, where a very special UV protective fine art laminate is applied to the front of the print. This protects the print from dust, dirt, and the rays of the sun, while also allowing it to be seen with very little glare or reflection. Now, while the laminate is being applied to the front of the print, an acid-free adhesive is also applied to the back side, which will enable it to be mounted during the next step. To make this print into a plaque, the print is mounted to an eco-friendly 3/8 inch wood background that has an acid-free protective seal. To adhere this print to the backing, the protective sheet over the adhesive is removed, and the print is heat pressed onto the plaque. Then the plaque is put into a giant press for about 10 minutes. The next step is edging. Here they cut a beveled edge on the plaque and then seal the edges with a black trim. This seal completely isolates the print and the plaque from the elements. Now the plaque is nearly complete. All that is left are a couple of quick steps. The first is to print a description of the photo on the back side of the plaque using a very large flatbed printer. Then the final step is adding a 3/4-inch French cleat hanging system. French cleats are used to hold cabinets, and so it's a very strong system. But this hanging system also holds the plaque off the wall, making it appear to float, which gives it a very three-dimensional look. Once this is complete, then it's time to fully clean up the plaque, wrap it up, and transport it to my gallery. After all the planning, waiting, hiking, editing, printing, and mounting, this is the moment it all comes together. This photograph now has a home on the wall of my gallery, where others can experience that warm, fleeting light from the edge of a mountain high in Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, every photograph you see of mine, whether it's hanging in my gallery or on one of my websites, has a story behind it. It's not just an image, it's the result of exploration, hard work, and a deep connection to this landscape. Now, each piece is crafted with great care and attention to detail, so that when you bring one of these into your home, you're not just decorating a wall, you're bringing in a story, a moment, a connection to our beautiful and wild world. To help you prepare for your visit to Rocky Mountain National Park, visit my website, rockymountainnationalpark.com. For hiking guides, calendars, coffee table books, and more, visit rockytrailpress.com. And when you arrive, be sure and stop by my gallery in downtown Estes Park. It's called Images of RMNP.